You know, we could start with Welcome Back, but you guys are too young to know Welcome Back Cotter, so we could be in honor of Pride Month.
And
Hallelujah, it's raining man.
it is it's super sunny here in Pittsburgh, but it is raining men.
Hallelujah,
In that
it's
case, I gotta go,
raining
y'all.
man.
So this
Hey.
is Mazda Monday. Everything you know to get through the week. The YaJagoff 6-minute Pittsburgh Fix.
I'm dead.
So, given the fact that we kicked that off with that song, Larry, what are we talking about today?
Well, it is Pride Month, and you know, a couple of us in the car yesterday went down to the parade, and we checked out some of the vendors, walked around. The parade was awesome this year.
It's huge.
Huge.
Love hearing this, right?
There was a couple points where I was like, oh, okay, that's it. Like, that's the end. That's it. That was great. And then, boom, bringing them back in again. There were churches. There were,
Lots of groups
businesses.
representing,
There were
yeah.
so many groups
And everybody
representing.
loved the
It was so nice to
parade, and I
see.
heard you guys saying, like, just watching the parade was fun.
Yeah.
It was. It
I'm
really
so glad
was.
to
Just
hear it.
seeing kind of all kinds of just walks of life all there supporting, and it was quite nice. It was a much bigger turnout than I anticipated, so I just think kind of having your expectations of that far exceeded. It was just. Was that your neck?
It was my
that
neck, just a little crack.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I actually heard it up front.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It
The
felt
good
good.
news, though, is in honor of Pride Month, I am here to talk about Mazda Pride because obviously it is still Mazda Monday, you guys. And one things that I kind of really do want to mention is if you are considering a new car, I think it is important to keep Mazda on your list. And it's pride for the brand. A lot of people probably don't know, we were the only brand last year that actually grew. And a lot of our cars are catching momentum. If you look at the IAHS, obviously safety is a priority for nearly everyone. We ranked out the safest brand in the industry at the moment. Trumping, I hate to say Subaru, that everyone thinks.
You don't hate it.
No, not particularly. But just in general, Mazda has so much great things. And more importantly, we're in such a good position here at Warwick because everybody is worried. Hell, I'm worried because everything just keeps going up and up and up in cost, and we were very smart to get as many cars on the ground today as we could, and then that way everything is locked in. I think Larry might be able to vouch, but we're like 200 plus some cars sitting here on the
Oh,
ground.
wow. That's great.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
they've been here, so they're not taxed.
Correct.
Right.
There's
And,
no markups. There's no the terrible T word that still doesn't make sense, but obviously.
And the deals are fantastic. We still
Yeah.
have 2.9%, 4.9% if you want to go longer term. The leases are great. It really is. I think a lot of people, there's people out there that are holding off because they think that, the cars are so expensive right now, and they're really not. Especially with Mazda. I mean, we're really doing it good by the customers, and if you're even thinking about it, come in, check it out, and, we'll make you a believer.
And you know what? With
I'm a
Mazda Pride,
believer, I can't leave her if
Hit
I
his face.
tried.
yeah, I was not prepared for this. But the good news is, if you come and check out Mazda Pride, you'll just ask for me, and then you'll just work with Pride.
Oh, I love it. All
And
right,
Larry,
go
you kind
sell,
of process
go
the
sell.
paperwork and all that kind of
Did I
stuff.
forget
It's a
Bye,
quick
we'll
process.
miss you.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
All right.
We
Jay
have,
left.
We have
He couldn't
processes
make
in
much
place
more.
to make it
You're singing,
as
girl.
quick as possible. So
Larry, we have so many things happening in June. Obviously, we're celebrating Pride all month long, and we actually had the Grand Marshal on our show the other week.
Did
I
you?
don't know if you knew that or not. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, Jeff Friedman, congratulations. Pittsburgh Brewing Company, they are doing the Rockin' Regatta this weekend, June 7th and 8th. Saturday is from 11 until 9, and Sunday is 11 until 6. $25 tickets. You're getting some fun boat ride, extravaganza-ness on the waters. There's bands, there's beer, all kinds of things. So make sure you check out their website. It is pittsburghbrewing.com
Get a
under
cool hat
events. Yeah,
like
there's
that
some cool
there.
hats for sure.
All right.
In addition, June 13th, if that's not your thing, that you don't want to go see bands on the water, we have different kind of bands. We have the beginning of Sweet Jazz for Sweetwater starting on June the 13th. They're doing kind of a hybrid deal again. Some of the concerts, they're monthly, are going to be inside at Sweetwater. Some are going to be on Walnut Green. And Paul Thompson, local musician and educator, is organizing these. So we're really stoked for June the 13th with the Boilermakers. So we're stoked for that one. And then the 14th, we're giving you everything to do that weekend. Well, it would be Babesburg. I cannot wait. John and I were a part of it last year, and they had to move the date because of weather, so we were not there. This year, I'm there at least because John will be on a little mini vacay, but I am emceeing. I'm going to get to see all of the makers. There's all kind of women-owned businesses. There is health and healing and drum circles. So much stuff happening. So we're super stoked for that. June 14th from 3 to 8 at Allegheny Landing, right outside our window. June 22nd, listen, not only are we getting everything stoked for you, but June 22nd has two things. Wake up in the morning and you're going to want to come.
Like P. Diddy.
I knew you were going to say that. You're going to wake up
No.
in the... Yeah, I don't want to be like P. Diddy, actually, John. I mean, we know the song, but we don't want to be anything like that.
Yeah, no, that changed.
June 22nd is the Pittsburgh Congenital Heart Walk at Stage AE. It starts at 8 o'clock. The walk itself starts at 10. It's all over at noon. There's a Dove release, princesses and action heroes who are going to be a part of it. So pretty cool. I think you should come, and obviously it's to support a great cause because our friend Leah Kinnaman is leading this charge. And then we're going to run over to the Ta-Ta Party because you can wear your favorite t-shirt. There is a little donate or a prize for the best t-shirt. We have a bunch of different categories that'll be lots of fun, and it's all old school games like limbo and musical chairs and instead of pin the tail on the donkey, it's pin the pink ribbon on the 412 Thrive. Like all the old school games that you played as a kid. You can bring kids for $22. You get an amazing loot bag, and all of the proceeds are going to go to 412 Thrive thanks to Vellum. Love Vellum fermentation. We just did an event there this weekend and it was so much fun. And John, last but not least, we actually talked to the folks over at the Wild Neighborhood, and they basically told us, well, it's the Wild Neighbors Early Bird Dance Benefit from 6 to 9 at the Pittsburgh Opera House, and it is the Humane Action of Pennsylvania. With Pittsburgh City Paper, there's going to be a DJ, an open bar, all kinds of dancing, photo booth, raffles, all on the 28th. It's a little dance-a-thon, and it is benefiting their cause. They are actually focused on pigeons. There are so many different animals that they have focused on in the past. This year, it is for pigeons. No wonder they got City Paper involved because that is their little mascot. So
Pigeons are cool.
There you go.
they're different. Yeah. I mean, cool. You find them cool?
One thing
we abandoned them.
You're right.
You know the thing about pigeons? We used to use pigeons as mail carriers, like during
Yes,
the wars and everything.
right.
So they brought a ton of pigeons into the country to use and utilize, and then after forms of communication changed, they just kicked them to the curb.
Larry, I'm so glad you gave us such useful information since I completely butchered that the line of what was happening on June 28th. So
and you know what's happening in between all those dates you gave us? That big weekend is Father's Day. Don't forget about that, right?
your dad's. Don't
All
forget
right.
Your dad's.
So then it's just another
Mazda Monday.
It's raining Mazdas.